So this conversation kind of slipped under my radar, and you best believe that I have some opinions about it, which is why we are making a video about this pseudo-quasi Vancouver Canucks, not so much of a trade update, diving into the youth, diving into the young guys, and which young guys could be on the move. Which ones Patrick Allvin could or should move over another. Let's dive into an article posted on CanucksDaily.com, and the reason I wanted to share this piece is because of the commentary that was posted by Sam Consentino on Sportsnet 650's Twitter account. This CanucksDaily.com article transcribes the comments and gives it to us in a screenshotable format, which is why I wanted to look at this piece. On May 22nd, 2022, Canucks Central with Satyr Shah and Dan Riccio, Sam Consentino, Sportsnet's eloquent prospect guru who gives the best scouting reports, absolutely unmatched one-sentence scouting reports that have no real information on the prospects. The question to Sam was, who would you be more willing to part with in a deal? Tom Willander or Jonathan Lekkerimaki? The reason these guys are being brought up is because there has been this bubbling idea in the Vancouver media sphere between the analysts and the fans that says that one or maybe two young guys could get traded to acquire a second-line center. It's a young guy like Willander, it's a young guy like Lekkerimaki, it's the 15th overall pick, it's all of these, maybe. It's a lot of stuff going on with the Canucks, and the fact that they do have a big need that is so obvious with the absence of Philip Hedl and Elias Pettersson towards the end of the year. Then now, we are taking a look at the young guys that can bring the most value on the block without sacrificing the most short-term Vancouver Canucks playing potential. Hey, let's face it, JT Miller's gone. The Vancouver Canucks do not have too many amazing players on their team right now, and especially with Brock Boeser potentially leaving soon, this team could be in a very desperate need to just get some talent real quick. Oh, but Lego, if you get rid of Brock Boeser, couldn't you say Lekkerimaki would be the replacement? Yes, okay, I understand that. That is a very reasonable idea, and it's one that I think many Canucks fans are also sympathizing with, but I just don't really know if Lekkerimaki is ready to be a full-time top 6 goal scorer. He can score goals, he can make some interesting plays, but is he there right now? I don't know. Tom Willander, the other guy here, he's coming into a Canucks organization where there is going to be a little bit of a battle for those spots on the right side. Phil Hronek and Tyler Myers are already in, but you know who else is bubbling on the outside? Victor Mancini. That guy has been amazing for the Abbotsford Canucks in the playoffs. He has been a man possessed. It's almost like he's Quinn Hughes out there. The way he controls the play and enforces his offensive prowess, how he exploits open space, and how he's able to drive by guys like it's nobody's business. Mancini is looking good. And with Myers, Hronek already there, you could also debate that, oh yeah, that's why we were talking about a Hronek trade earlier on, because if you could trade away Hronek and get Mancini and Willander on the team full-time, then you're golden, because you could trade Hronek for a pretty valuable center. Like a Bo Horvat, for example. And yeah, that would make things go entirely full circle, so I don't really know how comfortable I would be with that sort of an assessment. But let's head back over onto that article and read what it was that Sam Consentino said about this Lekkerimaki or Willander trade. Which one would you want to trade more? Well, Consentino says, Lekkerimaki. I just think defensemen are a little bit harder and harder to find. Some will say that the goal-scoring element that Lekkerimaki possesses and what he was projected to do is going to be the more tangible element and the more valuable element. I don't see it that way. I think Willander is the guy I would not move off of. And I absolutely love the way that Sam Consentino says that. He just says, oh yeah, this is my opinion, but he doesn't go out there and explain why. He just says, yeah, here's the devil's advocate point of view, but I don't agree with it. That's it. And it kind of feeds into the way Sam Consentino writes his scouting reports for Sportsnet.ca. Yeah, I am absolutely not in any way poking fun at the way that he writes one-sentence scouting reports that absolutely tell us nothing about the players that are being scouted and reported on. But Lekkerimaki and his goal-scoring element, I do think, is something that the Vancouver Canucks may be in a spot to potentially use a bit more of. And at this point, I understand the value that a guy like Tom Willander can bring. I understand that folks on different parts of the hockey writing world, people who write articles for a living, were saying things like, yeah, this guy's already a top 4 caliber D-man. Maybe he doesn't produce like the crazy Quinn Hughes-esque level production that we can get used to out of him, but he is a very solid, puck-moving, two-way stable defenseman. Tom Willander is in that Charlie McAvoy type of mold, and he could be really, really effective right now. Okay, yes, that is absolutely fantastic. And the Vancouver Canucks having that kind of an asset, it is great value for them in terms of the trades and in terms of what they actually have to play with on their team. But I'm just kind of thinking, I think the value of what Tom Willander can be for Vancouver right now is less valuable than what Lekkerimaki could be just because of the surplus and what is already on the Vancouver Canucks. This Canucks team is going to lose Brock Boeser. They need that goal-scoring replacement. What, are you going to expect Connor Garland to score 30 goals? You want Jake DeBrusk to get back out there and start scoring more too? I think it's unrealistic to expect more out of those guys in particular, especially with the lack of a true second-line center. Dakota Joshua was in a spot where this previous year he didn't really have that same chemistry with Connor Garland, and I'm not going to get too all ticked off at Joshua and his play. I mean, the guy had cancer, so we can kind of be more sympathetic towards him. But goal scoring and offensive support is something the Vancouver Canucks severely lacked in the previous season, and defending was actually pretty good. So I do wonder whether or not the Vancouver Canucks are in a spot where Tom Willander may not be as valuable as a Lekkerimaki is right now when you evaluate the team with where they're at and what they're capable of. This prospect or two, if you think about it just holistically amongst the rest of the NHL, a goal-scoring prospect who has been very good in the AHL but who has struggled to keep up with the NHL pace, or a potential top 4 defenseman right now who projects to being a Charlie McAvoy-type asset. I think it's fair to say that maybe the McAvoy guy, Willander, would be seen as more valuable, but for the Vancouver Canucks, they don't necessarily need more defensive support right now. I'm a very big believer in Victor Mancini. That guy's looking crazy good in the AHL, and I think his skill set has a lot more to show for at the NHL level too. It's just, he just got traded by New York to Vancouver, and I don't think the rest of the NHL sees Mancini in the same valuable way like Canucks fans do because of what they've been watching at the Abbotsford AHL playoff run so far. So I do kind of wonder if maybe Mancini and the way that he can be evaluated amongst the Canucks versus the rest of the league is a little bit skewed there, and if the Canucks could take advantage of that by trading him for something valuable. Get a second-line center to help feed Lekkerimaki and to help get him going. Maybe get him up to a 10, 15-goal year and then explode for 30 the year after. There are possibilities with this Canucks team, but ultimately I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Whom it is that you would rather see get moved, Willander or Lekkerimaki? This update from Sam Consentino implies that Willander is the guy whom he would keep instead. But do you agree with that? Let me know in the comment section your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.